portion of the plea. I've given her all the needs. Leave about 4:15, so I'm gonna go ahead and.
You're comfortable leaving it in her hands?
You did. Mr. Body was very kind and spoke to Mr. Dandridge in the back.
You talked to him too? Didn't work. A hard-headed gentleman. Let's try it. Mr. Taylor, how are you?
We meet again. How are you?
We do meet again. Mr. Taylor, you've got two cases on our final plea calendar. Ms. Wood tells me you're prepared to resolve both of them. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. In a moment, we are going to move forward with that. Ms. Dilligard just needs to reposition. We had a talkative defendant out here just before you, and people moved around a little bit. But Ms. Dilligard will put you under oath. Once you're under oath, it'll be important that you answer all her questions completely. And let me or Ms. Wood know if you've got any questions of your own. Will you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can take your time getting ready, but when you are ready, we are.
God, I'm on TV.
On YouTube. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Dandridge is on for the April calendar. You're not waiting on me, right?
No, I'm just
Good.
this next really fast.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
I believe I can kind of get started while I wait on this.
Okay. Should we make her come back?
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Mr. Taylor, can you please raise your right hand to your best of your ability? Do you swear or affirm that any statement or testimony that you should give in the matter currently before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Solemnly swear.
Okay, you can lower your hand. Please state your true, correct, and legal name for the record.
Jeremy Ottes Taylor.
Mr. Taylor, are you at this time taking or under the influence of any medicine, drugs, or alcohol?
Tylenol.
Okay. And that medication doesn't affect your ability to understand the proceeding, correct?
Oh, no.
Is there any medication that you normally take that you have not been taken or given today?
No, ma'am.
How old are you and how far have you gone in school?
B3, Bachelor Associates. Computer Science.
Do you understand that you've been charged with the following offenses? In one case, you've been charged with willful obstruction of law enforcement officers by use of threat or violence. Then there's a misdemeanor willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, criminal trespass, and certain acts bus rail station prohibited. In your other case, ending in 5415, you have one count of state sex offender registry violation.
I understand.
Do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to these charges?
I understand.
Do you understand that if you plead not guilty or remain silent and refuse to enter a plea, then the state is required to prove the charges against you at a jury trial?
I understand.
Have you had enough time to speak with your lawyer about all the charges in both of these indictments, including the facts and circumstances related to the charges?
I have.
Would you like any more time to discuss the case with your lawyer?
No.
Are you satisfied with your lawyer's services?
Yes. Actually, can I get like 30 seconds?
Sure. Do you need to go back there or is it okay? Just take a couple steps backwards. They'll deal with it. If you turn away from the microphone, take one step.
Put it on the record. When it's my turn to talk, I'll explain it. Okay.
Got action.
We good? Okay.
So are you satisfied with your lawyer's services?
Completely.
Counsel, do you waive formal reading of the indictment and waive any and all defects for purposes of the plea?
So waived.
Mr. Taylor, do you remember being arrested on these charges?
You say so. Yeah, I do.
You do. Okay. Has your attorney advised you of the minimum and maximum sentence for each charge which you're pleading guilty to today? For the willful obstruction by use of threats or force, the range is 1 to 5 years. On willful obstruction of law enforcement, the criminal trespass, and the certain acts, bus, rail station prohibited, the range is 1 day to 12 months. And on the state sex offender registry violation, the range is 5 years to 30 years.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay. Do you understand that today you are entering a negotiated plea of guilty, which means that the state will recommend the following sentence? Judge, to resolve both cases, the recommendation is 5 years of probation, a mental health evaluation and treatment as recommended, and to maintain his registry.
Understand.
Okay. Do you understand that the court is not required to accept the state's recommended sentence?
Unfortunately, yes.
And do you understand that the court has the right to sentence you to the maximum possible sentence on each charge?
Understand.
Do you understand that if there are multiple charges to which you're pleading guilty to today, that the court also has the right to run those sentences consecutively?
I understand.
And do you understand that if the court decides to enter a plea that you were not expecting today, that you have the right to withdraw your plea of guilty?
I do understand.
Are you currently on probation or parole anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're placed on probation of any kind, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit?
Yes, I understand.
Do you understand that if you are on probation, you must follow all the special conditions of your probation?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you fail to follow all the special conditions of your probation, then you'll be subject to revocation of that probation for the balance of your sentence?
Yes. I presume I'll be given a list of those.
What was the,
Yeah, I missed it.
I think he's asking a list of his special conditions.
yeah, I'll be spelling those out, but you already heard them. It's that you'll submit to a mental health evaluation, and if any treatment is recommended,
Those were the special.
those were the special conditions, and that you maintain your registration on the registry.
Sir, I understand.
That's it so far. I'm always free to add one if I hear and think, oh, this would be helpful as well. But I will spell them out when it gets to the sentencing part of the conversation.
Okay.
Do you understand that you are not allowed to possess or use a firearm while on probation?
I understand.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes.
Do you understand that by entering a plea of guilty today, you are waiving any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up the following rights: the right to a trial by jury, the right to remain silent, the right to confront witnesses against you, the right to the assistance of counsel, the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to appeal if convicted of these charges at a trial?
I understand.
Is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea today?
It is.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter a guilty plea?
No. No.
Is it your decision to enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Taylor, how do you plead to the charges of willful obstruction of law enforcement officers by use of threats or violence, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, criminal trespass, certain acts, bus, rail, station prohibited, and indictment number 24SC 002533?
Guilty is charged.
And Mr. Taylor, how do you plead to one count of state sex offender registry violation in indictment number 24SC 005415?
I plead guilty.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes.
Do you understand that you only have a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
I understand.
Do you understand that if you wish to challenge the voluntariness of your guilty plea, you must do so by filing a habeas corpus petition?
Yes.
Do you understand that for a felony charge, you only have 4 years, and for a misdemeanor charge, you have 12 months from today to file that petition?
I understand.
Okay. Judge, I'm going to start with the 24SC 002533. If that case were to proceed to trial, the evidence would show that on December 3rd of 2022, while officers were patrolling the Marta Lindbergh station, they observed Mr. Taylor smoking a cigarette on the platform in an area that signs posted "No smoking." Officers instructed Mr. Taylor to put the cigarette out. However, he continued to smoke the cigarette. He was asked to provide ID. He refused and walked off. Officers instructed him that he had to leave the station and issued him a verbal criminal trespass warning. As he was exiting the station, he began using profanity, saying the F word, and he continued to officers continued to explain that he had a criminal trespass warning. He also stated to the officer to take the camera off, I bet I'll pop your PUSSY ass. Okay. And all that was captured on the officer's body worn camera. And Taylor was checked and he had a MARTYR suspension, an active MARTYR suspension that was issued on September 23rd of 2020.
It's a MARTA suspension, meaning you're not supposed to be on MARTA property?
Yeah, they restricted me. Prior to that, they restricted me from coming in because I just walked through the
Okay.
like, whatever it is, I just walked through.
Okay, so suspension means you're not supposed to be here.
I wasn't supposed to be there.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And then for the other case, Snicks, that the defendant did not report within 72 hours of his birthday of October 19th. Sounds like after being convicted of sexual battery of a minor on 12/16/2009 in Spalding County, which is a conviction that requires him to register.
Okay. And so this would have been an October 24 violation? I don't have the indictment in front of me, but
Yes, Judge.
okay. Got it. Okay. Thank you. I think that covers everything. There's an unindicted case. That's going to stay out there. We're not resolving it today, obviously.
I'll
but
tell you about it, Judge.
Okay. I mean, I've read about it.
Yeah.
A cigarette lighter at a Home Depot, but it's out there. I just don't want anyone to be surprised that it's out there. It's got your name on it. And obviously Mr. Taylor's, but not mine. Okay. All right. Let's hear from Ms. Jackson and then get her on her way after this long day. Ms. Jackson, any criminal history information on Mr. Taylor?
Yes, Your Honor. He has 40 cycles. The last arrest was May the 30th, 2024 in Chamblee, Georgia, for theft by shoplifting, a misdemeanor. He does have felony convictions. One in 2016 out of Spalding County for a failure to comply with a register. One in 2015 out of Henry County for a failure to comply with a register. And one in 2009 out of Spalding County for the charge associated with the CWAC. And he does have misdemeanor convictions. It's one in 2024 out of Chamblee, Georgia for theft by shoplifting. One in 2022 for criminal trespassing. He received a nolo contendere sentence in 2019 for a fray. There was one in 2015 out of Spalding County for driving without a valid license and disorderly conduct and giving false information to an officer. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson, and thank you for your help throughout the day.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Ms. Wood.
Yes, Judge. So those two unindicted cases, we had hoped that we would be able to get those indicted and wrap it all up globally. We were unable to do that. I've explained to him he does have a bond on those two cases. I'm not sure if he's going to make it or not, but I've explained to him our office works with our justice partners to try to work something out for nonviolent offenders who have low reasonable bonds. He has been in collectively on these two cases 387 days total. I sent Ms. Dawson the breakdown, but for the 2533 case, it was 283 days total, and then the 5415 case, it's 104 days total. I don't know if Your Honor wants to structure it so that that's included in the sentence, which might mean more probation. I will leave that to your discretion. We're just asking that you accept the state's recommendation in this case.
Got it. Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
If I may?
It's your turn. I was about to turn to you to ask you if there's anything you wanted to say. Don't talk about these new charges.
I won't.
Good. Okay.
I just want to like give a brief factual basis on something.
For which?
For all this.
For everything.
Just what's going on in my life, okay?
Okay.
Because you're presiding over things right now, and I don't want you to get the wrong idea about me. If you are, I don't,
Assume that I have very little idea because I barely know you. I hear all the worst about you.
Yeah.
You've got this sex offense. You haven't registered.
Spain-
But I don't see you with horns over your head. You're human, and
Yes,
you
ma'am.
made some choices that got you in trouble.
2009, I was 17, and I was involved with a girl who was 15.
Okay.
And because of that, her parents went crazy. They caught us having sex. I got a sexual battery against a minor. Because of that, the registry, they told me to register. Yeah, it's been a burden my entire life for the last 15 years.
Yep.
So, and because of that, I've been exposed to drugs because I haven't had anywhere to go. And I'm just being as honest as I can. Like, so if there's any rehabilitative services you can offer, I need those.
Okay.
I need help.
When did you go to college? After the situation in
Yeah.
Spalding?
In prison, I attended college services to Marshall University.
Good for you.
So
You're going to drive the court reporter crazy if you keep jingling the chains. So don't
sorry.
jingle the chains anymore.
sorry, it's a nervous tick.
That's okay. All right. I appreciate you sharing that. That's helpful context. But you should know, unless, like I've already heard the trial and seen pictures of someone chopping someone's head off, I don't look at you as anything other than probably someone in need, because that's how you got sideways with what's going on. There's a limit to the kind of support I can provide, which is a frustrating part of this job. But the fact that you are looking for help is a good sign. Some people come in angry, they don't want help, and they're going to take it out on themselves or others. You seem to be self-aware in a way that is good.
I just don't want to fail the court again, or the court fail me.
All right, you're not going to be failing me. If we come back, I just like, all right, there are consequences. So yeah, failing you is what you want to avoid. When you get out, where do you go? Do you have a safe, stable location?
I have two.
Okay. Is it family or friends?
Family.
Okay, that's good. And is it in Georgia?
It's in Georgia.
Okay, good. All right. Mr. Taylor, I find there's a factual basis for both your pleas. You got to figure out the registry thing. This is your third time. And I bring that up not to say, oh my gosh, the sky is falling, but you will fail to register in some jurisdiction where they say, great, 20 to serve, because we're scared that we don't know where you are. That's not happening today. It's just me letting you know that if you compile a few more of these, some prosecutor and some judge are going to agree that you need to be out of commission for a long time. And it's so easy to avoid that one. You just got to register. And it's your birthday. It's a easy date to remember. I also find that your pleas are knowing and voluntary. You're very aware of what we're doing here, very intelligent, and voluntary just means no one's forcing you to do this. I'm sentencing you pursuant to the Probation Options Management Act, which means that while you're on probation, if you have a small issue on probation, you and probation work through that. You have a little administrative hearing with them. But if you get arrested for anything, like failing to register, that comes back to me. Not the new charges necessarily, but that issue while you're on probation. Ms. Dilligard, can someone in my office sign the 2 indictments on your behalf?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Wood?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Taylor, can we sign on your behalf indicating your guilty plea on the 2 indictments?
Yes, you may.
We'll do that. Do you have a weapons carry license?
No.
All right. Anything more you want to add?
Thank you for helping me. Thank you.
I wish I could help you more, but I am going to do the following. In the case ending in 533, I am sentencing you on counts 2, 3, and 4 to 10 months to serve. You will get credit for 200, I was going to say, well, I did math wrong, 284 days. You were in for, actually it's 283 days. You were in for 103 days before you bonded out. And then most recently, you've been in for exactly 6 months as of today because of the bench warrant. So you'll get credit for 283 days. You'll do a little bit more. And then count 1, the sentence is 5 years. That'll run consecutive to count 2. 2, 3, and 4 are running concurrently with each other. That's 5 years. It's probated. Special condition of probation number 1 is that you submit to the mental health evaluation, and probation will help you line that up. And then number 2 is that if there's any treatment recommended, whether it's counseling or the doctor says, here's your prescription, you need to take this, that you follow that prescription, or follow that recommended treatment, not prescription. And then condition 2 sort of goes without saying, but that's that you continue to register. I encourage you to look if addiction remains an issue for you, to support probation can connect you with addiction-related resources. I don't feel comfortable saying you must do that because I don't know enough about your situation. But certainly an example of how this Probation Options Management Act works is if you are testing positive with probation, they don't run to me and say, lock them up. They say, oh, maybe you need to go to the day reporting center or get some drug treatment. So it's a graduated approach before I get involved. In the case ending in 415, the sentence there is 5 years, 5 years to serve 10 months with the balance on probation, and you'll get credit for 284 days in that case. The balance will be probated. It's a little less probation in the case ending in 415, but that case will run concurrently with, at the same time, with your probation in the case ending in 533. And it'll be the same 2 special conditions. Get that evaluation and follow any treatment if it's recommended, and then make sure you stay current with your registry requirements. Ms. Dilligard, anything else from the state?
Nothing further, Judge.
Ms. Wood, on behalf of Mr. Taylor?
No, Judge, thank you.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you will be out soon. You will not be transferred to the Department of Corrections. You'll do a little more time. I'm assuming you're at Rice Street, and then you'll get out. And before you go, you need to get some probation reporting instructions from Ms. Simpson. You stay right there. She can talk loudly.
So, I received your evidence from Ms. Wood. So, my understanding, he's not going to be released today.
Correct. He's got a few more days to get to the 10 months, although the sheriff is able to adjust that. It won't be much longer, but it's not today.
So, we're going to report to 276 Memorial Drive. That's about 5 minutes from here. You need to report within 48 hours of your.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Simpson.
Thank you, Ms. Simpson.
All right. I know we've had a long day. If you don't mind, Ms. Rivers, thank you. You're good to go. If we can talk for just like 5-ish or minutes about the trial calendar, that would be great. We don't have to be as detailed because it may just be the 3 of us. Ms. Nelson may come out. Is there anyone else back there we haven't talked to? Pierce, want to come back out? Good. Oh, hold on 1 second. All right. So thank you, everyone. And